Welcome to the third quarter-final here at the Poland Darts Open in 2026. It's all about England. World Cup winner Luke Humphries against someone who'd love to be in the team. Still got a lot of work to do if he's going to get in that squad. However, it's not about that right now. It's about trying to get more success on the European Tour and to be that first name against Poland Darts Open champion. That will live forever. You've got to win 3 more games tonight. Dobie and Littler have already won their first. Bit of a conference happening on the stage. Doesn't look like it's anything to do with the board being straight, or is it?
Well, Stephen Bunting doesn't stand straight, so it's probably not going to look straight, him standing all the way off to the right of the hockey like he normally does.
Some dart players have to go through a process before they even throw practice darts. Okay, so different routes to get to the quarter-final. Christopher Ratajski was in the way of Luke Humphries in his first game. Stephen's first game was against Neil Zonneveld, averaged 88. Wasn't a great performance, but it was good enough. But this afternoon, he turned up. The dangerous Jermaine Wattimena was dispatched with a 100 average. That will give Stephen a lot of confidence. But Humphries, after that tumultuous game with Ratajski last night, he came through somewhat smoothly against Boris Krčma with a 97-ish average. So we've had Humphries plateauing around that 96 to 97. Bunting has lifted his level by 13 points from yesterday to today. Who starts this one as favourite? I wonder, Niall.
Well, Luke Humphries was a winner in Prague. His last Euro Tour title. He beat Rock 8-5 last year.
59.
He actually beat Stephen Bunting twice in the Premier League in 2025 as well, but Bunting lost a lot of games, to be fair, didn't he, last season, which is why there were questions over his Premier League
82.
inclusion for this year. That is a man dressed as Obelix dancing with a giant inflatable shark.
85.
That is what we do on the Euro Tour. But Stephen Bunting, twice he played Luke at the quarter-final stage or later of tournaments last year,
100.
and he won both of them. Both were semi-finals. In Riesa, he beat Coolhand 7-6, went on to win the tournament.
140.
The Bahrain Darts Masters, he won against Luke 7-6. He went on to win the tournament. Now, this isn't a semi-final, but based off of that, Bunting can have belief that if he beats Coolhand here, he might go on and win the title.
It's a very fair point.
60.
I suppose the natural rebuttal to that is Coolhand beat Bunting earlier in the week and won the title. Now that's perfect. That one had a chance in the air, but it didn't catch the flight enough. Humphries on the doubles in this tournament is 39%. It sounds good. It's been erratic.
60.
And he is annoyed because he hit his own flight on the way through to that tops, and that's why it missed.
Bunting should be annoyed with that as well. Giving himself just one shot at tops instead of what he should have had, which was at least 2 clear darts at that double. Slipping into the 5, missing the big number. And against Luke Humphries, you cannot make mistakes like that.
Second leg, Stephen to throw first.
Have you noticed on Luke's shirt as well that he's got something slightly different to other world champions?
100.
There's this thing in PDC darts where you get a star. He, after a little bit of juggling, which we don't encourage, by the way, these are trained professionals, on his left sleeve he's actually got a picture of the Sid Waddell trophy, which I think is brilliant.
The star is still there on top of the trophy, which isn't actually what the trophy looks like, but it's kind of cool.
60.
So if he wins another one, he's going to keep that logo, but he's going to put a number in the star.
Marketing genius.
Well, he wants a 9, doesn't he? Because he's got 8 titles on the European Tour. He would like a 9th. And he'd like to tick off another country. That's what these players talk
85.
about in the practice room. How many countries you won in? Have you won in Poland? No. Do you want to? Yes.
100.
Well, speaking of marketing genius, we've seen Stephen Bunting's soft toys and all sorts of strange bullet memorabilia. And that's what happens when you have a year like Stephen Bunting did last year. 6 titles.
125.
2 of those on the European Tour. Most recently in Basel in September. The Swiss Starts Trophy. And on that final day in Basel, Bunting was irresistible at times. He beat Luke Woodhouse in the final. It was quite one-sided in the end, but the run-up to the final, Bunting was superb.
91.
That's a superb lead.
71.
But he's going to have to dodge a shot here. There's nothing in the way this time. Nothing at all.
Humphries. Third leg, Luke.
Hey, you mentioned merch. Can you imagine what the best piece of merch would be for Andrew Gilding? It would be a foam thumb. He's not done it. But Luke Humphries? An oven mitt. Cool hand, Luke. He's looking pretty cool in this game, isn't he? Because he has had some close to hot-headed moments over the last 24 hours or so.
I think you can go a bit further than that. I think his head almost fell off against Krzysztof Ratajski. And he's, to be fair, come out and owned it when, in an interview on the stage with RMC, Phil Brzezinski, he did say that he was frustrated with the crowd in the game against Ratajski. He was 4-1 up, and Krzysztof Ratajski, backed by 3,500 vociferous Polish fans here at the Expo in Krakow, managed to rally and bring it back to a level game. Humphries eventually showed his class to come through that encounter.
39.
But earlier on this afternoon, he said, do you know what? Having had 10 minutes to reflect on it post-match, it's Krzysztof Ratajski in Poland. Doesn't happen very often. It was an emotional game. I got embroiled. And he completely owned the situation. And everyone's made up and all happy again. And there'll be plenty of Luke Humphries fans in the crowd tonight.
Do you know what, Niall? You make a great point, because if you're a great dart player, both of these guys are. Everybody in this sport, if you've got the level of titles that these guys have, we're talking about double digits for all of them. They all deserve a home game. Now, Stephen gets that in Liverpool.
146.
Where does Luke have his?
Stephen Bunting finds 146 and finds a moment of brilliance to get his first leg of this quarter-final.
Stephen to throw first.
This might not be a home game, but that was a home run. What a shot. A catalyst in this game. He could have easily found himself 3-0 down had he not found that.
96.
Break throw as well. Big moment in this quarter-final. Acknowledged by Cool Hand.
140.
But as you were saying, I don't think the Premier League's going to be rolling into Newbury or to Crewe anytime soon. So I guess Manchester would be his closest homecoming to where he lives in Crewe now, Luke Humphries. But that's prime Nathan Aspinall's territory.
And Littler.
I know Nathan Aspinall isn't in the Premier League this year, but you're right in pointing out Luke Littler will probably be well backed as well.
135.
Is Birmingham closer? Well, it's going to be Josh Rock on Thursday because it's Belfast. That's undeniable. And it's also undeniable that Stephen Bunting is starting to warm up in this game. Just a matter of 2.5 minutes ago, he was averaging 82. Now it's 90.5. He's starting to brew.
56.
Well, Luke Humphries has spoken about how well he's started matches recently, and he's been disappointed that his form in games has not been as fluid as he would have liked, and it's tailed off.
59. Luke Duquois 170.
The risk of that happening again if Bunting takes out 164, but it won't matter because Luke Humphries might take out 170, which he does. A big old fish for Cool Hand. And it puts him 3-1 up in this quarter-final. More smiles on the stage. As Luke Humphries Gives this crack-off crowd something to savour.
Still smiling about it. His previous shot he hated. That one he loves. Now he's got the crowd on side. But the thing about the good start and maybe not being able to sustain it, it's born of patience. Whether it's 1 leg old,
96.
3 legs old or 5 legs old, this game, you've got to have that level of patience for a few seconds, maybe a few minutes. Do you know what the best description of patience has been? Patience is
93.
not being a victim to your circumstances. If you're a victim in the middle of a match, you might as well just press the panic button. And at the minute, I don't want to be super critical, but I just get the feeling that Humphries is hovering above it a little bit more than usual.
Question is, what kind of patience are you?
58.
Guns N' Roses or Take That?
It's just at 170, so let's take that. Take this.
Well, that's one way to
127.
stop yourself feeling like you're dipping in a game.
He's been shaking his head more than David Gray in this tournament. He's still averaging 96 for the tournament. That used to be known as world class, but not in the frame of mind of Humphries, who could possibly be 4-1 up now. That's the one thing he didn't want.
62. Stephen, you require 110.
Well, Bunting has only had 2 darts at double in this match so far. One of those at the end of a massive 1-4-6 combination. He'll be hoping to get a dart at double from here. Needs a treble, though, which he can't find. So Luke Humphries has a run here at double 8 to go 4-1 in front.
This double was his best friend this afternoon.
8.
Oh, boy.
Stephen, you require
Things
12.
could be changing. Stephen didn't think he was getting this chance.
Oh, if you're going to miss on double 3, you can't miss inside with 2 darts left.
Luke, you require 8.
Bunting in the basement. Can't get the job done, but Humphries can.
Luke Humphries. To collect Stephen,
And the lead becomes commanding for Cool Hand.
Stephen's form in this tournament's been very up and down. He's back in that second round range of high 80s. He's probably wondering where this afternoon's form is. There's a little bit more of it. That is actually the first 180 of the game.
135.
I've had a 170. There's only one thing better than that. And we're not going to get one. Not yet. 2 years ago,
43.
we had a 9-darter in the final in the first European Tour event of the season. And that had everybody off their chairs.
140.
Well, we've had some big bullseye finishes this weekend, not least the 170 that Luke Humphries took out just a couple of legs ago. Had 167s, 164s.
78.
We do technically have a big fish running around the arena. Is a shark a fish? I don't know if it counts as a fish, does it?
108.
We know what that is. That's what those Polish fans are hoisting in the air. 180.
100. Luke, you require
This could have been
46.
so different had Stephen hit that double 6 or double 3. Oh, no. Well, it could still be different.
Stephen, you require 100.
Has to take it, though, Stephen Bunting. 2 darter, potentially. 2 at tops. Now double 10.
8.
Opportunity
Luke,
comes
you
and
require
goes.
16.
And he might not get many more in this contest.
Gash on the 6 leg. Luke
I think Luke's going to understand right now that he's getting a little bit of fortune.
To throw
That
first.
if he gets through this game, he's not going to get that later. Van Veen or Nyman in the semis for the winner of this quarter-final. And if Humphries does win, he will have hit blackjack on semi-finals. 21 it would be with a victory.
57.
Well, Humphries beat the bullet earlier on in the week en route to a floor title.
108.
It's a second match to the match for Cool Hand. Looks like he's going to beat Stephen Bunting again here. This time to progress through to the semi-finals of the Poland Darts Open.
Humphries is brilliant on Sundays at the European Tour. His conversion rate on the last 16 is very close to the best of all time. If he wins this match here, we're talking about 70% of his quarterfinals have resulted in a victory. And he only needs one more finish, and he's got time.
65.
That's absolutely fine.
Well, Stephen Bunting has missed 5 darts at double in this match. They've been important ones as well. They always will be in any match, but particularly against someone like Luke Humphries. He's hoping to romp home on tops.
16.
But not yet. So he'll have some insurance.
Trying to figure out what part of this game Humphries is going to be happy with. There might be only one thing at the end, and that's the result.
140. Luke, you require 40.
Match start missed. And another.
Game
But
shot.
he gets it with the third. And Luke Humphries gets his spot in the semi-finals of the inaugural Poland Darts Open. An impressive performance against a Stephen Bunting who just missed too many doubles in key legs. Luke Humphries pinned a big fish at 170. Performance that maybe he's not entirely happy with, and that is a frightening thing for the rest of the field, because that might mean there is more to come from Cool Hand. There will be more to come because he's into the semi-finals. He beats Stephen Bunting by 6 legs to 1.